100 naira ko. Estambase ko.
Good morning and welcome to Lagos This Morning, live here on Flip TV. It's good to know that you are always here representing and also watching wherever it is, wherever you are right now, as it is, if you're in Nigeria or outside the shores of Nigeria. We say welcome to the show this morning. Hope you had a very pleasant weekend. Hope your weekend was not so stressful. Hope you had time to rest and check on a couple of friends and families as it is. You're once again welcome to Lagos This Morning. Today is the 4th day of December, 2023. You know, I was about to stutter a bit. We are just on Friday was first. Today is already the 4th of December. We're already counting down to the end of the year. What are your plans for the Christmas that is coming? Hope you can feel it. All right, so welcome to Lagos This Morning. We are live here in Lagos, the studios of Flip TV. Welcome once again. My name is Ebuka Izobika. All right, you know, as we run the show, this is the start of a new week. It's Monday, basically, and we have stories that are trending. We have so many stories coming on, starting from Saturday to Sunday. Today, we also have so many of the stories, and we are itching to dish them out to you. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, papas and mamas, watching us live here on Lagos This Morning. But quickly, before we go into the newspaper, you know that we bring you all the stories as it is. Basically, this morning, we had a breaking news concerning something going on in Lagos State, basically in Ojota area of Lagos State. The Lagos State Fire and Rescue Services, they are trying to shut down the fire explosion that happened this morning, the early hours of this morning, around Ojota. Let's take a look at this particular issue that's going on in Ojota area of Lagos State.
A heavily loaded fuel tanker on Monday morning, December 4, 2023, exploded on the road at Ojota, Lagos. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency officials were seen at the scene to manage the incident. The situation has been put under control as the pedal truck conveying diesel inward K2 that went on flame has been extinguished.
first. One by.
Reporting live there was Okpeyemi Olugbemi. Thank you very much for bringing us that report. And big shout out to the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service for coming on time and answering the saver so-called that was coming in early hours of this morning. And that's to show that the Lagos State Fire Service always are prompt into action just to make sure that the disaster doesn't go beyond that angle that it has gotten to. And it calls for more precautions if you're having anything that is there, that you know that this period that we are going into is a dry period, that the weather is very dry and any small thing could ignite fire. So please, at this particular point, we call on everybody to be very, very careful as it concerns safety for fire causes. All right, now let's move on to the dailies this morning. What the dailies are serving us this morning as it is. The newspapers are here, and we would look into many of them as it is this morning. So quickly, we start off with the Daily Trust News. Now,
The heavily loaded fuel tanker on Monday morning, December 4, 2023, exploded.
1,411 delegates to COP28 summit. Moving on, other stories there. The rider you have there, Tinubu has turned climate change conference to Owambe. This is coming from the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who is also the presidential candidate of the PDP in the last elections. He says Tinubu has turned climate change conference to Owambe. This Owambe, if you are from Lagos or you are particular to the southwest area of Lagos State or Nigeria, basically, you'll be familiar with the Owambes. Owambes has to do with weddings, naming ceremony. As long as there's a party, it's called an Owambe. So with the crowd, Atiku said he has turned the conference to an Owambe. It's a waste of resources. This is coming from Peter Obi. He says it's a waste of resources. It is outrageous and insensitive. This is coming from the CSOs, talking about civil society organizations. Government-funded contingents, less than 100. Yes, this is the presidency coming out to defend themselves that not everybody on that list is being funded by the government. The ones that are funded by the government are just 100 of them. PDP demands refund of ESTA codes, asks National Assembly to investigate the delegation. More of the story, you find it in the Daily Trust newspaper. FIRS grant waivers on tax penalties and liabilities. You find out there also. NSCDC personnel brutalize Anambra journalist, says media is Nigerians' problem. Oh, wow. Very interesting there. Okay, that is on the Daily Trust newspaper. Then you see there, 3 months after, no clue on the whereabouts of abducted Zamfara University students. More of those stories you find in the Daily Trust newspaper. Now let's switch on. Let's move on to other newspapers this morning. Inquirer. We'll move on to the Inquirer. Wike terminates 85 billion naira affordable housing project. Wike terminates that project. Describes contract as ridiculous. Wike is also saying that he's going to review all housing agreements in Abuja. Wike is now, you can call Wike the landlord of Abuja, basically. He's the Abuja's landlord right now. JAMB fixes April 19th to 29th for 2024 UTME. American man dies 6 years before women. American men die 6 years before women as life expectancy gap widen. The people in charge of the life expectancy should not even come to Nigeria, basically, as it is. Then, the Japa syndrome is still a big issue. The U.S. Embassy are saying right now they are under pressure. Meaning, in layman's terms or in Nigerian terms, the U.S. Embassy are saying it choke. That's what it means. U.S. Embassy interviews 150,000 Nigerians this year. They have interviewed 150,000 Nigerians. Everybody is doing what? They are japarizing to other places. The Japa syndrome is a big thing. More of the story you find out in the Inquirer newspaper. Now let's move. Now let's talk about first news. Yeah, let's move on to the first news. What do we have in the first news? Still talking about the conference going on in Dubai. Obi is saying a presidency trade wars over 1,411 Nigerian delegates in Dubai. Labour Party flag bearer accuses federal government of sponsoring non-relations, friends, government officials, angers on. Says Nigeria must stop wastes by government and the nation. Then presidency is saying not all delegates are government funded, just like it was or it is in the Daily Trust newspaper. So you find the same story, the first news. Why I won't suspend Wike and others? This is coming from the PDP chairman. He said why he won't suspend Wike and others for anti-party activities. Atiku is saying, I won't benefit from federal government reinstatement of Intel's contract. Okay. Shaibu thanks Obaseki on surprise birthday message. Yes, the deputy governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, had his birthday on Saturday, and the governor of the state, Godwin Obaseki, sent him a message, even on social media. Yeah, on Saturday. Don't forget that the two, the governor and the deputy governor, they are at loggerheads basically because of Shaibu is saying that he wants to contest for the elections in 2024 in Edo State. But himself and his governor Godwin Obaseki, they have not been on good terms as it concerns that particular issue. But surprisingly, Shaibu said he was surprised that the governor would send him a birthday message, and he was very, 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 very grateful that the governor would do that. So more of that story you find in this first news newspaper. APC wins all chairmanship seats in Ekiti Council polls. Yeah, you find that there. VP's new residence dump Wike's plan. Serap urges Senate president. Yeah, you see that there also. PDP to Tinubu tell Nigerians how much was spent to sponsor delegates to COP28. So you find that story in the first newspaper. NDLEA busts Europe Dubai-bound drugs in jeans, dolls, and buttons. Very interesting. The Nigerian Drug Law and Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, uncovers plots to transport drugs to Dubai, surprise in Europe, and hidden in different places. So the NDLEA, the spokesperson for the NDLEA, Femi Baba Femi, that's on the first newspaper. That's where we have it this morning as it is. So right now, while leaving the first newspaper, let's move on to other papers this morning as it is. Now we are going on to the News Direct. Yes, the Nigerian News Direct. In the front page there, what you find on the front news of the Nigerian News Direct, Serap condemns Wike's proposal to allocate 15 billion naira for vice president residence. 2.8 billion naira for publicity. Now, what is he using all these monies for? Now, this Serap, they urge the Senate to reject the wasteful spending in the supplementary budget. Also, they call on the EFCC, ICPC to investigate alleged spending of previous allocated 7 billion naira for vice president residence construction. There was a 7 billion naira allocated for the construction of the vice president's residence. So if that money was being spent on the vice president's residence, why is Wike saying he wants to spend another 15 billion naira on the same vice president's residence? What is it about the vice president's residence? It's a question that needs answers. And Serap are asking the questions this morning. Now, moving on to other stories now. FIRS grants waiver on penalties, interest on outstanding tax liabilities till December 31st. Oil gas executives showcase local content contributions at 17th Practical Nigerian Content Forum in Yenagoa. Then moving on to the Ogun State now. Right now, Ogun State issues 48-hour ultimatum to Kara cattle market traders over unhygienic environment. I think the Ogun State government now are trying to do a copy and paste of what the Lagos State government have been doing in some months right now, closing down markets that were deemed to be very, very dirty and unhygienic. Right now, Ogun State government is giving 2 days notice, that is a space of 48 hours, to the market traders there in Kara based on unhygienic doings that they have been doing in that particular market as it is, and have warned them that if symptom persists, the market will be shut down. So that is all on the News Direct newspaper this morning. All right, now let's move on to which paper is next right now. Let's move on to the Business Day. On the Business Day, we're talking about the business size of things. Very brief. Tinubu's outsized COP28 delegation costs 880 million naira to fly. Wow. That is almost a billion naira for a 2-day conference. Many on delegations are idle, says Peter Obi. Peter Obi saying, now many of them probably don't have anything to do. They don't have work to do. President just took them along. So yeah, now since you don't have anything, just take us to, just follow us to Dubai as it is. Just like Atiku is saying that they all went for one day. All right, that is just on the lighter note this morning. Presidency demands defense large delegation. The defense is in the Business Day this morning. El-Rufai plans $100 million venture capital in revenue sector return. Yeah, you find that in the Business Day for this morning. Okay, moving on because of time. On this Nigeria, $700 billion